My name is Adam Steele. I am the founder and the COO at Loganix. And Loganix is a primarily link building focus. However, we've, for the longest time, in fact, 10 years now, have been doing citation building, cleanups and audits, and more recently, diving into SEO products like keyword research and keyword gap analysis and content marketing strategies and all that kind of stuff. Having a dashboard really makes a big difference when you're not having to process orders manually and send invoices out manually for everything that you sell, especially in a highly productized business like my own. Having to send out an invoice or the like every time I want to sell a citation audit. I think the biggest game changer from a process and system standpoint was certainly having a dashboard. We started using Gravity forms, and then we eventually built out a just very rudimentary dashboard. And we had, a shopping cart and all that kind of stuff in there. I think we might have used a WooCommerce, sort of self-hosted WooCommerce type situation. Today, we're still largely catching up to a lot of folks who made smart investments much earlier than I did. Our competitors pretty well all had one, and we knew that, if we didn't want to continue to be outpaced by them, we needed to step up. We wouldn't be able to handle the amount of orders that we get with any sort of accuracy. Our own dashboard kind of outlived its usefulness, and wasn't very user friendly, had just kind of a very old user interface. It's hard to go back and sort of imagine all the little things that have to go right in order to fulfill an order accurately and with precision. It starts with a conversation. Somebody's got to reach out to you, send you an email, so you receive an email, and then they start asking you about your products, and because they can't find that product information elsewhere, or it's on your website, but you don't have a place for them to buy that stuff, so they've got to come to you. So you've got an email sitting in your inbox. You've got to see that email. You've got to open that email. You've got to reply to that email. Oftentimes there's back and forth that is not necessary. It's not helpful to you. It's not helpful to the user. It extends that purchase cycle or pipeline or whatever. It needlessly extends that decision to buying that may have happened days before. Think about all the notifications that occur, and you have to not miss any of those notifications in order for things to go right. And you've got multiple team members. It's insanity. There wasn't any onboarding, really. Onboarding was when you purchased something and we asked you for your inputs. That was our onboarding. We set up ActiveCampaign, and we started to really dig into just primarily a tool to send out email to our list. Setting up automations and email sequences in there for onboarding. So when you sign up, you're entered into a sequence, essentially, where we're going to try and first discover who you are and what's important to you. Are you an agency? Are you a small, medium-sized business? Are you in-house? We want to sort of evaluate your needs so that we know what kind of material to send you next. A welcome sequence, and then, should they buy, there are different triggers based on what they purchased, when in the sequence they purchased it. Following delivery of certain things, there's another sequence where it's sort of like, okay, you bought this, what did you think of it? Can we get some feedback? And then there's a certain kind of confidence, I think, that is created when people see that sort of thing. They see the polish, it's like, oh, okay, these people have it together. These people they just look more legitimate. At least 50%, if not more. And every day we're trying to find new ways to not necessarily move more over to self-service, but just provide more reasons for people to self-serve, especially for products that are under, say, $500 or something like that, especially products they're used to buying elsewhere anyways. Pretty well from the beginning, we just had, just basic, whether it was a Google Doc or otherwise, just steps, checklist, that kind of thing, because there's too much that you can forget, and if you do forget it, it just creates a whole tangled mess with the customer having to come back to us. We've now, potentially betrayed their trust. And people just have been burned so much in SEO that you got to get things right, or at least you got to try, or otherwise you're just asking for trouble. You need to do your very best to prove to people that you're not out there to burn them like so many are. SVP came along, and it's amazing that I didn't find you guys in the early days. I sure wish I did. It would have saved me a lot of money and a lot of time. And not to just talk about SVP constantly, but it has to be said, it was 100% a game changer, 100%.